Hello everyone, this is AccuraDriver, and hey look, the fourth MCM Archive from Steelwool Studios. Also, you might notice up here I have another video open. That's because this week's theory is going to double down on what I figured out last week. Though first we're going to watch the Mycelium Men video, so let's get on with that. Full screen. Got that. Oh, and I guess I should mention that audio, the voice that I heard underneath the coat rack, apparently no one's actually figured it out yet. So that's a thing. Anyway.
Bring the magic and whimsy of the Mycelium Men home with you today. It's the new musical Mycelium Men.
That does look pretty cute.
They repeat any song they hear or anything you say.
Oh, right. That reminds me. Something I... There we go.
It's like having your very own band or a friend.
Wow!
I find this amusing. It's in the similar style of how they did the mouths in the Stay Up Latte video. Wind up sound effects? Wow.
Collect them all and
That's not creepy.
let them jam.
Oh god. If toys like this exist, there are toys where they'll listen to a recording and then they'll play it back. And if they aren't set up right and you get them playing to each other, it becomes horrible.
Pretty groovy.
Okay. Now, there's not much extra happening here,
Today.
except I will once again note that
Bring
they've
the
got
magic and whimsy of the
really
Mycelium
decent
Men home
animation
with you
compared to the very first one. So, still keeping that little train going. Also, like, obviously using the Mimic software, though you don't need the Mimic for this kind of thing. Anyway, as I said, I'm doubling down in that what we've been seeing a lot of is that Murray's costume manner doing really good. All his inventions and stuff, he must have figured out something. Which brings us to this FNAF video. FNAF by John. In specific, he got a package from Steelwool Studio, and it contained a lot of stuff. You should watch his video. Like, if you are into Five Nights at Freddy's stuff at all, he went through the box, there was a bunch of cool things. I'm not going to show anything except for this one part, the termination letter. And... okay,
my god.
I was worried there wasn't sound there for a second.
Oh my god.
Actually,
I was
we
fired. I'm gonna read the letter now. I'm gonna read the letter. I'm shaking, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm shaking, okay. Dear FNAF,
Mhm.
me. Subject, termination of employment.
Oh, and I will note that the letter literally is just a very, oh god, I'm forgetting the name of it. It's when you have a form letter, and they literally just put a sticker with the name of his channel on it.
I've been fired. Unfortunately,
I do like
effective
the fact that
immediately,
the
you are
bomb
no
is
longer
kind of
employee
like
of Murray's costume manor.
shredded.
Thank you for your years of devotion to your work.
Years of devotion. This is the big thing that I wanted to
You will
focus
no longer
in
have
on.
access to the facility starting immediately. Enclosed in this package is your personal effects that were left at your station. I got fired, and I'm an employee of Murray's Costume Manor?
Yes.
And this box...
That is the thing. Employee, but years of service.
is my stuff that they sent me when I got fired?
Oh, I just realized I didn't pick up on that the first time. The box of stuff was the stuff that was at his desk. That makes so much more sense now.
I'm canon? I can't.
Yeah. Well, technically, FNAF is canon. You, John, you may or may not be canon. Then again, MatPat's canon in the movie universe, so that's... yeah.
I'm canon.
Yeah. Honestly, a lot.
Do you see that?
That is one thing that the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise has been doing a lot. It's integrating us into it. All of us working on the theories. Admittedly, the bigger ones in general, but like the people they give interviews to for this kind of stuff, the people that they get in as fun little references and things. And in this case, the person that they sent, well, other people got this as well, I assume. Maybe he was the only one. But people getting these interesting little drops are the people of the community.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Yep. Wait a second. Does he read? Or is that just... I think that's just marks.
Oh my gosh.
He said he was going to take high detail pictures, but I didn't look into it, so maybe I should
Enclosed
try
in
to
this
find
package
them.
is your personal effects that were left at your station. You will guarantee that all company property, including your data diver, is returned to the HR... Is there a freaking data diver in here? You will guarantee that all company property, including your data diver, is returned to the HR department immediately via post, if not in the facility. Failure to return company property...
I think I already got what I wanted.
At your home. In an effort to help you find future employment opportunities, below this letter, our spectacular digitiper has written a letter of recommendation personalized for your specific needs. Sincerely, Edwin Murray.
Sincerely, Edwin Murray. Murray's whatever.
Costume Manor. Immediately via post, if not in the facility. Failure to return company property may result in...
Let's go back.
Costume Manor? I've been fired. Unfortunately, effective immediately, you are no longer an employee of Murray's Costume Manor.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your years of devotion to your work. You will no longer...
There we go. That is... Actually, I just realized I'm going to go turn off that just so that when I close it doesn't automatically propagate across all of YouTube till I have them on. There. That is the thing I want to focus on of this all. Years of devotion, whereas in the books, Murray is a failure. He's like, oh hey, maybe this mimic thing could be good for something. But categorically, Murray not only is a failure, but he's a lonely failure. Yet there's an employee here with years of service? Where'd that come from? Oh, that's simple. He was successful. Murray was amazing. In the game universe, as compared to the book universe, Murray's Costume Manor was not only successful, it was so successful, he hired people. He had employees for years. That does not necessarily mean it was a big company. It could have still been like him and like 5 dudes. However, I want to connect one little thread, one final thread for this theory. Because I think not only was he successful, but we're about to come... Secret of the Mimic is about to release. And for some reason, the whole warehouse is abandoned, despite the fact that Murray shouldn't be some kind of linchpin. He had employees. But he fired them? And the teletype thing that I was about to go into was basically blah, 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 he's a pretty good guy, but hey, the teletype system could do it for you. It's the Mimic. And what did the Pizzaplex do before all the stuff went down? What was one of the big things that they did? They fired all the employees. Now, given from what it sounded like, I didn't look too far into this just because I like to make theories of my own before looking too much into other stuff, but obviously this is a source that I do not have access to outside of this. But it sounded like either there were other people that got something like this, or the idea behind it is that FNAF, as an employee of Murray's Costume Manor, was not the only one receiving this. Murray made the Mimic. he got better and better with it. As we saw through the ads, the commercials, it started simple enough, a latte machine that knows how to do lattes. It became the clothes rack, which was pretty cool, and then it was the vacuum. Or was it the other way around? I can't remember. Stillwell Studios. When did you release those? Yes, I was right. It's the Stay Up Latte, Murray's Magic Coat Rack, Cleanovac, and now the Mycelium Men. Stay Up Latte, an automated latte machine. Nice. Not really something... Well, technically they're decent. Well, I'm a bit of a coffee snob. I'm just going to admit it right now. I went from hating coffee to being single origin. I grind it myself. I have my own little dripper. I have a hand press espresso machine. So yeah. There are decent enough machines to make something like a latte. But that's something that you don't need much mimic technology to do. Then we have the Murray's Magic Coat Rack with the better commercial, better quality, a little bit more mimic to it. It's more than just like turn on and off the water. It had to actually extend the arms, grow big and small. Then the Cleanovac. My gosh, that thing is so amazing compared to the others. It's not just a Roomba. There's a video showing like a scene from Secret of the Mimic, and you get to pat a Cleanovac on the head. It is adorable. And it's more than a coat rack. It is more than a Roomba. We're getting into real mimicky, like, this is not what we, as a society, IRL currently have. At least not in the way it's being portrayed. And now we have the Mycelium Men, which is taking the other stuff and adding voice to it. Which, easy or hard, but mimicking, actual mimicking, instead of just like, oh, it's learning how to vacuum your place up. The 4 videos are the progression of the mimic technology. In FNAF's letter of termination is the end result. Murray's Costume Manor, long before the Pizzaplex, went through and automated everything with the mimic. Murray fired the employees that he had that were loyal for years and replaced them with mimics. That's my theory. That's why the big warehouse is empty. Not because there weren't other people there. It's not like the books where he was like living in there with his son and that's it. This was a working warehouse, a working facility. He had employees, but as the mimic got better, it got to the point where he fired everyone else and just let the mimic do the work. That's my theory. That is why the warehouse will be what it's like. That is why we're going to go in there and there's going to be so many robots and stuff walking around. Murray made the mimic. And long before the Pizzaplex even thought about replacing all the staff, he had done it already. And the reason why the Pizzaplex doesn't do it until it does finally is because Murray's automation failed. He still gets done in by the mimic. However, instead of a failure as an inventor, a businessman, and a father, I'm going to be willing to bet that, oh my God, I just realized I might know. I think I figured out who we're playing as. It would be perfect Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, we're basically certain at this point that this is not the first team to go into Murray's Costume Manor's warehouse area. We're also pretty certain that he probably still had a son, that he had a wife. Something likely still happened to the wife. The split in the timeline is that he succeeded, that he had a bunch of employees, that he was successful. And then he fired the employees, and the Costume Manor kept running. And then one day, the Costume Manor still kept running, but where's Murray? His son is like, where's my dad? What if, just like it's theorized in so many other Five Nights at Freddy's, the main character is the son, not of William, but of Murray. My goodness, it is such a perfect mirror. This is the new generation of Five Nights at Freddy's. This is where they're taking what was just magic and turning it into science. So of course we've got to start anew, but we can't throw everything out. That's my theory. I came in with a completely different theory. But I'm just going to state it straight through once more. The MCM archives show the progression of the mimic technology. Murray, because of the mimic technology, ended up succeeding in the game universe. The Fazbear Entertainment wants his technology, as seen by the fact that later on, we've got all the different things like the Faz Wrench, Helpy, all that, basically replicating stuff that we're seeing Murray had. And in Murray's success, he had the mimic to the point where he replaced his loyal employees for years. Specifically, FNAF got fired over this, so, that's a thing. And then, when he dies, because of the mimic, or I will leave this open, it could be a twist, and maybe William has another kill under his belt, maybe Fazbear Entertainment does something to him, I don't really care. That's a different theory for a different theorist. However, they're sending in multiple teams to figure this out. Maybe they had a bunch of other stuff that they already got from him. Maybe Secret of the Mimic isn't as far in the past. None of that matters. What matters is Murray had a son. Murray dies. But the son doesn't have to be dead, because he wasn't just alone in a warehouse with his son and then the son wander off and die. No. The son is alive. And he's looking for his dad. He's looking for what happened. The main character is Murray's son, coming to find out what really happened. That is who we are. My God, that would be brilliant. Please, tell me what you think of this, because I think I solved it. I think I know who the main character is. It's Murray's son. Oh, wow. In fact, I might post this early, just so more people can see it. Please comment below. Tell me what you think about this. Like and subscribe. This is Accurate Drawer, and I'm signing off.